Welcome to the, I think, fifth or sixth, I can't keep track now, interview of the Fuel Injection podcast. Today we have Pranav Iyer. How are you doing, Pranav?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Good, thanks. Alright, so starting off pretty easy, where are you from?
So I am from a place called Bangalore, India. I was born in Fremont, in California, but I moved here when I was 3 or 4 years old. So I am still technically a US citizen, but I am also from India. So yeah, that's
So
that. But
dual citizenship or
yeah, you can say that. You can say that. You can say that.
Wow, cool. Okay, I didn't know you were born in California. Well, you might have told me a while back, but I didn't, I had maybe forgotten about it. Yeah, that's cool. Okay, so what made you a petrolhead?
I think that attribute has to go to Jeremy Clarkson.
Yeah.
That is, like, he is undeniable. I remember, I think, since 5 or 6 years old, I used to watch Top Gear. You know, back then, iPads first started coming out, right? The OG thick iPads, right? And every time on YouTube, a new video will be uploaded, and that would usually be Jeremy Clarkson and the PLP 50 or something along those lines. And I really found, that series addictive. So yeah, that was one of the main reasons. And then apart from that, I think it's safe to say that I was born a petrolhead, because you can never be made one. Because what actually happens with most of us is that we're born into cars, right? But the thing is, we never actually get into cars fully until we hit our teenage years, possibly even before that. But yeah, I mean, I can safely say that I was born a petrolhead.
Wow. So Jeremy Clarkson, huh? Yeah, I think that he's definitely influential for me too.
He's influenced a lot, yeah.
Yeah, I started off, I was watching, just one day, I think I was 10 or 11 years old, so that must have been 5 or 6 years ago now. And I just found Top Gear on YouTube, and I just started watching everything, all of the...
Exactly, I know, right?
The challenges, the ambulance challenge, and all of the challenges, and I just fell in love. Yeah. So...
I think Top Gear has to play a very crucial role when it comes to people liking cars, especially you, right? Because females in this hobby, unfortunately, are relatively lesser compared to males, right? And over time, one thing that I found out is that the number of females in this hobby are actually rising, because I know a friend whose sister, right? She's a doctor. She owns an LS7 swapped E92 M3.
Oh my gosh. Now
Unfortunately, the car was totaled in an accident, but they bought an LC500 to replace that. But still, Bilstein shocks, center dips. Just imagine, like, it's a crazy build. I think it had a wide body kit on it, all modded out and stuff.
Full mods.
This is in Saudi Arabia. So basically what happened was a straight 6 died, and they swapped it out for an LS7. Although I did
crazy swap.
I'm just like, yo, if you can, like, I don't care if Ferrari sends you a cease and desist, but you better try putting a Ferrari engine in it, because that's going to sound amazing. Because think about it, right? V8 NATAS, okay, manual transmission, and the exhaust valves are open. Who would want to drive that?
That would... I think, you definitely have to put a V8 from a Ferrari in there. That would be...
amazing.
Today I heard a 4.4 liter, not a Ferrari engine, a BMW, a V8, that they put in an X5 at a local mechanics shop that I internship at. And oh my gosh, that just made me fall in love with V8s all over again. It was...
Yeah, I mean, like, V12s are better given a choice. And I think, honestly, the last great V12 has to be the Ferrari 812 GTS, right? V12 convertible. But if you had to make a pick, one V12. Unfortunately, I'm biased because we're all products of the 2000s. I think it would be the Murcielago V12 Roadster in yellow. Obviously, you've got to do justice to that with a manual.
Yeah, that's fantastic choice. Yeah, that V12, you cannot beat that V12.
You cannot, and you never will.
Yeah.
Like, Lambo can't come close, and apparently I heard they're discontinuing the V12 for a V10 hybrid setup. Unfortunately. And Rimac buying Bugatti, which means that the lovely W16 is gonna die. Unfortunately,
it's very sad. I'm disappointed, honestly. VW, they hadn't done so much great stuff in the 21st century, but they did buy Bugatti, and that was
Bugatti was amazing. Yeah, but
that was their best.
But apparently, I think what's going to happen is VW is going to buy Bugatti under the condition that they increase their Porsche stake in Rimac. Right? So what effectively happens is VW gets control of both Rimac and Bugatti through Porsche.
Oh.
Which is interesting if you think about it.
That is interesting. That's an interesting way of doing that, huh? I wouldn't have thought of doing it that way.
So they're just using Porsche as equity to bargain for Rimac, and then they're going to control Rimac stocks.
Wow.
I think 41% or something along those lines. So anyway, I'm kind of that's really interesting because I really want to see how this goes.
Yeah, I want to see how that Bugatti being
how this plays out. Yeah, how Bugatti is because like I can't imagine buying a Bugatti now, right? Because it's electric.
Yeah. No, Bugatti
is gonna become overpriced. I'm not saying they aren't going to be great cars, no doubt, but they are going to be very overpriced, right? Because they are electric, but at the same time, Bugatti is not that kind of brand which mass assembles the supercars like Ferrari or Lamborghini. Even though they make low volume cars relative to Ferrari, Bugatti is even lower, right? And they have like all this fancy atelier in Paris, or actually not Paris, somewhere in France, I forgot. And like think about it, it's like all hand built and stuff, and you're making an electric car. I really don't know. I mean, as long as they put a V8 hybrid or something, that's like the most I can take when it comes to the death of the W16.
Yeah.
But I'm also worried about how Bugatti will start building the world's fastest cars all over again, because I think the only person who can beat Bugatti from the ground up, from scratch, would be Christian von Koenigsegg.
He definitely, he's on the rise. That new Gamma, they have the Just Go, or the Yes Go, I'm not quite sure how to pronounce that.
Yeah, the Yes Go is like basically a family man's rocket ship.
That is a very eccentric billionaire's like dream car.
Family car, yeah.
Actually, the Gamma would be.
I want one. I really do.
Yeah, I think the Gamma is one of the best. Honestly, I think it's one of the best Koenigsegg's ever made, along with the 1.60X and the.
No, I remember we were in 7th, and we were all crushing over the Regera at the time. Because everyone's like, "Oh, it has no transmission, and there's like a 3-cylinder engine, and it's like making 1500-ish horsepower. How the hell could you do that?" And I don't know how those guys do it, like extracting like 1000 horsepower from 3-cylinder engines. That is insane.
It's a feat of
properly insane.
Yeah. That's a new benchmark. Bugatti did it with the Veyron, and they made 1000 horsepower, but that has a big W16.
It has a W16. Koenigsegg did it with a 3-cylinder. 3-cylinder. And some motors.
That's a new level of engineering. Yeah, it really is amazing.
So yeah.
Yeah. All right. So moving on to watches now. Why? Like, what started you on your path of loving watches?
Okay, so watches and me have a very interesting story together, right? So it all started, I think, last year, where my dad had this mechanical watch. I'm just like, yo, this looks cool. It looks really over-engineered like those Koenigsegg's, and I want one.
Yeah.
And so I go on Amazon and I'm looking at those cheap Chinese mechanical watches, which I know won't last long, but I just want one because they look cool. And then obviously when you are a beginner, what happens is the Seiko 5 comes up and Seiko comes up, and then you start learning more about watches, and you start learning more and you keep on learning more. And I can safely say I'm kind of a nerd for my age, because being into watches is a very oddball hobby. But if you are someone who appreciates engineering a lot, especially over-engineered objects, then you should, right? So
in your bio on your Drive Tribe profile, you say that you're a cycle mechanic. So what began that whole path of?
Okay, yeah, that is another story altogether. So I was in third grade, okay, and I had this cycle. I think it was a BSA, which is like a British cycle manufacturer, but you got them in India back then. And my chain used to break, right, connecting one gear to the other, so the wheel moves. That breaks a lot. And I used to have to go to the store and fix it. And then at some point, when I was just cycling alone, it broke down again. So I tried fixing it myself. And from then on, I got my first cycle with gears. As in, you have like a proper clutch system, like a car, which you operate to change. And that is a whole different ballgame altogether, because there are a lot of different levers, a lot of different valves you need to open. So that's kind of what triggered it, just a simple breakdown. So I mean, I know my way around a cycle. Depending on what tools I have, I can probably fix it. I mean, not that long ago, I did help this kid fix a cycle in the middle of the road. But one thing that I kind of realized, it kind of helps you connect to cars, because I am someone who likes going very fast. I'm a speed freak, if you may say that. All of us are. I think that's a prerequisite, unless you're Richard Hammond, because you're going to die.
Unless you're James May, you'll just do 35 the whole way behind.
Because here's the thing, right? James May won't do it because he's too slow. If Richard Hammond does it, he's going to die, which means Jez is the only one who can actually do it and still live.
Yes, that is true. Hammond will die. James May.
Hammond will die. Yeah.
So Jez just does it on his own.
Exactly.
Yeah. But you were saying you're a speed freak, like all of us are.
So I, try to fix my own cycles, do small improvements to make them go faster. And it's kind of amazing how mechanical these things feel, right? How you are in control of every single thing. You can actually feel yourself operating the flywheel and the clutch and how the gears change, and you can see all the mechanisms and stuff, and it's really, really satisfying. And you also, tend to learn a lot, especially about cornering at speed, straight lines at speed, aerodynamics, basically all the principal lessons you learn or you need to know when you're into racing. You will learn that if you cycle. And if I'm honest, while I am a Jeremy Clarkson fan, one thing I disagree about is the hate for cycling, right? Especially Aaron from Shut Up and Let Me Speak. That's a nice name though. He said he really hates cycles, but honestly, I don't think they really deserve the hate, because the problem with us is that we always look at it as a form of exercise and it's disgusting and stuff. And if you look at it that way, then you're right. It is very true. But if you look at a cycle from a car guy's perspective, right, that is your first encounter with a mechanically over-engineered object you can work on. And you will have a long way to go before you actually get your first sports car. So the cycle should suffice, right?
Yeah.
So if you look at it in that perspective, to mod, race, work on, and fix, then yeah, you should love cycles. It's fun. It It really is.
That's a valid point, actually, because I know when I was younger, I used to have a bike that I would treat it like it was a car, like I could drive it and use it to get
Exactly.
to places. Yeah.
It's fun.
Now, of course, I have my own license, so I don't use the bike anymore. But yeah, definitely when I was younger, I would treat it like a car. Yeah.
No, I still have 2 more years to get my license, so that means I gotta spend more time with the cycles. But yeah, the day the license comes, I will still keep my love for cycles because I don't have a choice. I'm too much in love with it at this point. But I will drive more, so I'm really happy. And the best part is that I'm not sure if this is a drawback in India because most people hate this. But one of my cars, my mom's car has a VTEC.
Okay.
It's a Honda Fit, basically. VTEC paddles. Ugly car, but it's a nice first car. If you want to drive, get the VTEC, rev the VTEC and stuff, the sound is amazing. And my dad has a Toyota Innova. You can look it up. It's like the first generation, which has a manual. And that's the thing here in India, right? Manuals are cheaper to make, which means my first car is going to be a manual.
Yeah.
And while most people say that's a bad thing because traffic here is very heavy, as you would have heard. It's a manual, damn it. Enjoy it.
Exactly. It gives you that driving pleasure. Yeah, you should go for it. Have fun with it.
So I'm kind of really looking forward to driving. That's one thing I have to unfortunately wait for. But when the time comes, I will drive. That's all I have to say, because words can't describe the excitement that I will undergo, just like every other car enthusiast when you finally have the permission to drive. But I think the closest thing we can all do is go-kart.
Yeah, that's always an option.
It's always an option. But now I can't because the go-kart track is closed due to the pandemic.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's that.
Well, that's an interesting view to look at bicycles like that.
Because look at bicycles as an alternative for driving, not in a bad way, but in a good way, basically.
Yeah. I mean, there's ups and downs, there's good bits and backwards to everything, but yeah, I just try to look at the positive, and then it's not so bad.
Yeah, true, because it's like, it gives you the experience of owning a car without actually owning one.
Yeah, and it's a lot less expensive.
It's a lot less expensive as well. Now, I'm not saying take it because you're an environmentalist and stuff, because honestly, I hate Greta Thunberg.
Yeah.
No, really, like, I honestly find her a hypocrite. And I know I'm saying this on a podcast. But the thing is, she's rallying for a problem. But she's not actually doing anything about it. She's saying her yacht, which she traveled in, has 0 carbon emissions. But what about the carbon emissions that actually occurred when making the yacht? If you're so concerned about that, why don't you just walk to the US, damn it? Seriously.
Exactly. And she didn't. I found out this actually through Jeremy Clarkson. He said in a column he did that yacht she has 2 backup diesel engines.
Exactly my point.
It has 2 emissions. No, it doesn't. It has 2 diesel engines. So you kind of just lied to them.
He's just sensationalizing climate change. I mean,
yeah.
Yes, we should do something about it. I'm not going to lie, because we have to.
Yeah.
But at the same time, Greta Thunberg is just, let's just say she's only rallying for a problem, but not actually finding a solution.
Exactly. She doesn't. I don't think she quite has all the information to make the right decisions.
She has Asperger's, but I don't blame her. She has Asperger's, and especially the "how dare you" thing, where she's like asking "how dare you." I'm just like, yo.
How dare you? How dare you? Gotta lie to us and kind of not quite.
See, I'm not saying that I mean, the world where it's going, we got to do something about climate change. That is a given. We have to. But at the same time, Greta Thunberg's just overly exaggerating it, if I'm honest.
I have to agree with you on that. She's a bit in over her head, and I mean, I know a lot of people probably disagree with me on this, but
Go on, hate us, we don't care.
she doesn't quite have a full grasp on what she's trying to do.
Yeah.
So, I think the intention is good, but the way she's going about
The way
it,
she's doing this
it's not
bad,
good.
exactly.
Yeah. It's a
Practically every Indian
constant,
prime minister, if
that's
I'm
fine.
honest, because
Right.
they have good intentions but very, very horrible execution.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. She doesn't quite have
She
the
doesn't quite
grasp.
get the point. Exactly.
Yeah.
I don't blame her. I kind of feel bad for her because of Asperger's and depression, and so that's not something anyone can say they went through. But, at the same time, if you're doing something on this magnitude at this rate, I think you should at least have a solution to it. I mean, you're straight up saying that whatever is giving the world economy has to be shut down now to avoid the 1 degree limit. You're not even giving us time to adapt.
Yeah, he's just saying, okay, this is how it is now, and not giving us time to
I
think
don't get
about
the
it,
point, man.
fix it,
Seriously.
adjust it, yeah.
I mean, third world, only very, very few third world countries can actually pull that off.
Yeah. There's not many countries that can actually do
There's
that.
not many countries that can pull that off, exactly. It's really difficult.
I think she has too high expectations.
She has way too high expectations here.
Yeah. And she thinks that everyone is
As
just
Donald Trump
what she says.
as Donald Trump says, chill, Greta, chill.
Chill. Yeah, exactly. I think she needs to just calm down
Next
a bit.
thing we know,
Have
she's going to make a drive-by bio saying chilling and watching a movie.
Exactly. Just calm down, hang out for a while, have a rethink, come back at it with the fresh brain, and just Yeah.
Exactly.
yeah. All right. Well, I think that concludes the podcast. So,
Well, thanks for having me.
yeah,
It was a
thanks
pleasure.
for coming on such short notice. Yeah, it was great. And so please like, comment, and subscribe. And this video will be up soon. And see you guys next time.
Thank
Thanks.
you.